Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a man building some shelves. Let's jump into it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Jason Explains Things, and welcome to my first around the house home improvement video at my new home. So this is my 2-car garage. About a month ago, I did that wall over there. I'm doing some organization stuff. Did the 2 tire racks for all my winter wheels, bike racks, put 1/2-inch OSB on there so I could hang things in various places without having to put it right into a stud every time. So the shelving we're gonna be building is all 2x4s and 1/2-inch OSB. Here on my beverage fridge in the garage is a rough drawing of what we're gonna be building today and a very rough starter cut list. So essentially what we're gonna be building again is 172 inches long total by 32 inches deep for our totes that we're gonna be kind of basing everything off of, with 23-inch spacing in between each shelf. One of the challenging things I'm going to be dealing with on this build is the fact that the floor is not in the best of shape. It was not really poured very evenly, and it also, I mean, like most garages, they're supposed to slope so water pours out. But this one slopes around 4 inches, which, I'm not sure if that's normal or not, but it seems fairly extreme. And the flooring is kind of cracked and the concrete is kind of beveled. Oh, so the cut list are my 16-foot long 2x4s. I'm gonna cut down 172 inches, 8 of them, for the 4 shelves, 2 for each. For our supports that come out, that's gonna be 29 inches. I'm not exactly sure how many of those I'm gonna need to do yet, but for the 2 2x4s, each 1.5 inches thick, times 2, 3 minus 32 is 29. And then the length of the vertical supports that kind of go down to the floor is gonna again have to be based on where they are in relation to the floor and how much it slopes. Also, before we start cutting and screwing things, I went ahead and marked where all the studs are in the wall and marked where I'm gonna be putting the 2x4s on the wall. So for tools for this job, pretty basic woodworking stuff. I'm gonna be using my chop saw. I'm going to be using a circular saw. Also, I'm gonna be using a Craig jig, a pocket hole jig. Oh, I'm gonna be using 4-inch structural screws, some big heavy duty, honestly, they're almost like lag screws to be getting these supports into the studs as securely as possible. So this is a nice, strong shelf. What else? Well, obviously, drill, countersink bits, impact driver, that kind of thing. But that's it. So I think what we can do to get started is get our long boards cut to 172 inches, get the 4 that are going to be on the wall, and we'll go from there. Cool. So I think I came up with actually a pretty smart idea. So I'm about to do the back support for the second shelf, and since I'm working alone, I'm like, how the heck am I gonna do this? And then I thought, what if I made a spacer? So essentially, this is a scrap 2x4. So I made 2 of them, and I'm just gonna go ahead and screw these to the wall on each extreme end, and then I can just do that and put the supports up. Now it's time to cut the battens. So each one is 29 inches long. I'm gonna make 28 of them. That's 7 for each shelf, spaced out to every other joist.
Sometimes, honey, me, you put a little bit of gasoline. I burned out, so to speak.
Okay, so we got our 28, 29-inch support pieces in with pocket holes on either side. Next step is we're going to attach these to these pieces here just like this. I'm going to be working bottom up, and on pieces that are not so close to the ground, I'm going to use a scrap 2x4 and a clamp to make attaching these a little bit easier.
Losing my mind, can't find the words, no, I can't seem to find. Reason right, let's take our time and choose. Whether we deep or yellow, whether we deep or shallow. Please me now, 'cause we're about to lose. Whether we pop or hello, whether we step or jump.
Woo! Cool. So now with our shelves kind of suspended here, now it's time to add some vertical supports. Our shelves are pretty much done. Ugh, this thing is strong. So, last thing to do is just to put our sheeting on, but guys, this is awesome. This is so much storage. Yeah.
Attention, baby, and I can't make a move. Like a child, a star for love. I'll stay there as long as I have to. I'll cry a river of tears that flows to the sea. Baby, if you run away, baby, if you leave.
Well, everybody, fast forward a couple weeks, and now these shelves are completely stocked full of stuff, and I can finally park both cars in the garage. It is super, super fantastic. It's kind of like we've actually moved in now. I highly recommend building something like this yourself. A pretty easy, fun little project, and very inexpensive, and very functional. One more thing before you go. I have recently had a couple people ask me how they can kind of support the channel and what I'm trying to do here in the videos and everything. And besides ringing notification bells and smashing like buttons, another new thing you can do to help me out is actually support me on Patreon. So how Patreon is going to work with my channel is essentially you can choose to contribute a certain amount of money per video I upload each month, and that in turn helps me create content, more content, better content, and we can grow this little channel together. So consider doing that, and I'll be uploading behind the scenes photos and videos and other things as we go. Thank you very much for watching. People are looking at me as I record this in my garage, and it's really, really awkward. Well, anyway, you all have a fantastic day, and I'm gonna go. Bye. Oh, and now you're driving by slowly. Hi, yeah.